Hi everyone, and welcome to the General Hospital recap for September 8th, aka today. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our videos or recaps. I kind of put on a filter that is kind of tragic. One second. This one's a little more true to form because it is freezing out here and I didn't grab a jacket, but let's get right to it because hey, we're going the day of. I'm so happy. At Jordan's, Curtis stayed at Jordan's overnight. They wake up together and decide that they don't want to be apart. They're officially back together. Jordan wants to tell Stella that they're back together though. She doesn't want to hide, and Curtis really doesn't see the reason to. At Kelly's, outside, Maxie is going to be going to an important meeting today, and she's kind of giving Nathan a little bit of a hard time still about this Ask Me and Landers thing. It's just that she's not used to being the one who isn't keeping secrets. This is a whole new world for her, and she's just gonna play it up a little bit. Amy comes over, and Maxie, again, she gets why they both did what they did, and she has to get going to her meeting. Amy tells Nathan that it's not over between them. She had someone take a look at the contract, and it turns out he does need to show up at a public appearance. Hi, Songbird. And Chet is doing better, by the way. Rehab is tough though, and Amy wants to move Chet home so he can be more around familiar people. And she wishes she didn't have to ask Nathan anymore with this Ask Me and Landers thing. But Nathan doesn't regret going into this with her. He will absolutely do this, but he has to approve what he wears. So he's going to that party. Don't know if they're going to Phantom of the Opera it or just hope that no one takes pictures. Inside Kelly's, Stella comes into Kelly's and TJ is working. Apparently Curtis never came home last night. She thinks he might have been on this PI stakeout. She asks if TJ needs help paying for school, and he says he's good. He wants to do this on his own and pay his own way, and I'm just so proud of him. Stella says that it's time she went home. She doesn't want to overstay her welcome. She's able to feel good that both TJ and Curtis have their heads screwed on straight, and they're both doing good, and TJ says she's always welcome to come visit and come back. And then Curtis and Jordan come in together. Oh, they would have been home free if they just chilled for a second. TJ comes up to them first, and Curtis starts talking to Stella. He tells her that he and Jordan are back together and they're staying together. And Curtis, he loves Jordan. It's official. He's saying it, and I'm just so happy for them. I love them together. I really do. At Ava's, Valentin won't come over to Ava's. She's on the phone with him, and then she gets a call from Griffin, and she declines it. She is going to go to the meeting with Valentin. Griffin leaves her a message. He doesn't want what happened yesterday to get in the way of her recovery, and he'll still be there for her as a friend, or in whatever capacity, or not at all. He just doesn't want her to be hurt. At the Metro Court, Lulu sees Nina at the Metro Court, and Valentin is there too. It's a Charlotte meeting that Nina will be attending because she's back in the picture. Nina has the audacity to say, "We'd like to get Charlotte's custody squared away." Oh my goodness, how fast I do my 180s. Lulu tells Nina that Valentin only wants her in the picture to score points with the court. And Valentin apparently is seeking joint custody, not full custody, because he wants what's best for Charlotte. Valentin literally brings out the worst in Nina. I'm convinced, because we've seen her without Valentin and it's been okay. Like, I'm literally so stressed right now. Right here, guys. Right here. Lulu wants what's best for Charlotte too, although she has a different definition of that. And Nina and Valentin want the four of them to drop Charlotte off at school tomorrow. And Lulu's like, oh, I wish more family could come, but Laura's with Spencer in France because you know how you killed Spencer's father? That whole thing? Nina is like, oh, Spencer, the one who falsely accused Valentin? Oh, excuse you? And after a little bit more talk and not a lot of whatever, Lulu leaves because she's like me. She's had enough. Absolutely had enough. Valentin then meets with Ava, and Nina's since gone to work. Will Ava say yes or no? Ava thought she could rebuild her life like this, but she has to take the chance to look normal. Her words, not mine. Valentin has the contract for the reconstruction, and she has this picture of a 16th century tapestry that she thinks will look very good in his house and also add a lot of money to his assets, but he still wants her to recant her statement, and she won't. She's offering the tapestry. That's what she's coming to the table with, and he says that she's wasting his time. Well, I'm glad she hasn't totally thrown Spencer under the bus. Yet. At Crimson, Maxie comes into Nina's office. Super tense, to say the least. Maxie says that the meeting that Nina says she's getting ready for is with her. Spinelli helped Maxie put together an online profile to be a social media influencer under Max Jones. She wants to be back at Crimson, and honestly, how Nina didn't figure out Max Jones was Maxie, I'll never figure out. She gives Nina her portfolio. Nina won't look at it, so she shows Nina some of the more amazing shoots she did at the bottom of Mount St. Helens, like these amazing shoots, especially amazing since Nina botched Morocco. And before you say a lot of other things were happening in Morocco, which I absolutely agree with you 100%, instead of gallivanting with Valentin, maybe if Nina was at work where she was supposed to be, this whole necklace thing wouldn't have happened. So I'm putting that on Nina because she was the boss, she was the project manager, and as we see from many reality TV shows, the person in charge is the one who gets left with, you know, the boot at the end. That's not the right saying. Nina says no because she didn't fire Maxie because she's bad at her job. She fired her because she can't trust her, and for like super personal reasons, which I don't think you could legally do. Remember there was the whole thing with hiring Claudette and they couldn't just fire her without cause? Well, what was the cause for firing Maxie? And I really hate to... I want to see Maxie in charge of that magazine, to be quite honest with you. Nina doesn't deserve it. So whatever, Nina, you're going on my list with Ava because I can't anymore. And Maxie's like, fine, you're right. I had no right to insert myself into your family business, which is, again, the personal reason she was fired from her job for. But is that the worst thing anyone's ever done to Nina? No. So why forgive them and not Maxie? Good point. At Elizabeth's place, Franco got the kids on the bus. Elizabeth is going to be late for work, and Franco says he worked it out with Epiphany, and Epiphany is going to cover for her. Elizabeth hasn't been sleeping, apparently, because of this whole Jason thing. He assures her that Jason will be okay. Elizabeth is constantly spiraling, and she's back to blaming herself for hiding who Jason was from him, and Franco says, look, everyone involved is blaming themselves right now. Like, you're in good company. And he says, well, maybe invite Monica over, and she can spend time with Jake, and it might help talking about Jason's childhood. Okay, I see what you're doing. Scott comes over. He and Franco haven't seen each other in a while. Elizabeth goes to work, and if Scott doesn't have great news. He tells him that his father died, and he didn't want to bother him with this news before, and Franco says it's not a bother and hugs him. Scott talks about his father, and then Franco says, yeah, I don't really know anything about my own life or family, and he shows Scott the picture of him and Jason as kids. Scott doesn't really think that's Jason, or at least he doesn't want to believe it right now. Franco thinks that this picture proves that there was more to his obsession with Jason than met the eye, and Scott says it was just one of his friends in the picture, and Franco says that he didn't have any friends. He made them all up, or maybe he didn't. Scott doesn't want him leaning into this though, or what if it was a coincidence? So yeah, what if it is Jason? And Franco's like, no, I have to figure this out. There has to be more to it. At the chapel, Griffin is in the chapel, and Elizabeth wants to stop in real fast before her shift. He checks in with her with everything with Jason. Griffin is blaming himself, tearing himself up for what he did to Ava. He has to figure out how he feels. Like, let's not go there though. Like, let's not rehash like an Ava Morgan type storyline. Please, just ask him for a friend. Actually, my friend over here. Hey, she doesn't want this to happen. And now end scene. Nathan still wants to make sure no one finds out his identity. Amy says that they're totally in the clear. She can name on like one hand how many people know that Nathan is Ask Me on Landers. Nina might give Maxie a second chance, but she wants more than just this empty pledge. She wants something valuable, something Crimson needs, something no one else has. Then maybe she could give Maxie her job back. What a power trip. I mean, honestly. Stella is like, you know, I love you and TJ, I'll see you later. TJ notices that she forgot her phone, so he brings it out to her. He's proud of how she's handling Curtis and Jordan being together because he knows she's not okay with it. TJ wants them to all have dinner before she leaves, and Stella says that she has reconsidered leaving. She's staying in Port Charles for now. Lovely. Lulu and Maxie are at the Metro Court. Lulu sees Ava and Valentin sitting at the table together and is very intrigued. Maxie has to go figure some stuff out, so she leaves. Ava asks why Valentin needs her to retract her statement if he doesn't see it as proof, because he keeps saying, oh, it's not, they're under the false assumption that your statement is proof, but it's not. So she's like, okay, so why do you need me to retract it? So he says, well, to spare the kids and to spare Charlotte having to hear my name dragged through the mud, and to spare Spencer finding out his father could be out there and abandon him. Ava says she won't do it. She won't retract her statement. So kudos. She has a hint of humanity. I'm glad. I'm really glad. Because Spencer doesn't deserve someone to do that to him. He doesn't. Scott tells Franco to talk to Heather Weber if he wants more information about all of this, because she would know above everyone else. Alright, so that is it for today, Friday's General Hospital recap. Woo, we did a whole week, guys! What do you think? Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week for more General Hospital, and I hope you have a great day. Alright, bye!